Skip rope. Just skip rope. You think you're a bad motherfucker? Skip some rope for 10 minutes every day. You'd be shocked at how hard it is to skip rope for 10 minutes.
It's so good for you.
So good for you. So simple.
Good for.
So as you saw there, I clipped in the 1/4 pound cross rope to the cross rope A&P handles and rolled out the cross rope mat. And now we're going to test out something that is a common question on Google and search engines and YouTube. That is, how many calories can you burn jumping rope for 10 minutes at a moderate intensity? To give you some context, I am approximately 160 pounds, just over 160 pounds, or 72 to 73 kilograms. And here I'm using a relatively light rope, a 1/4 pound rope. It would be heavier than your basic PVC jump rope, but not extremely heavy. And I use various footwork moves in this video. At the moment, I'm doing the basic boxer skip, shifting my body weight from one leg to another. Now I'm going into some jog step variation there. And I'll throw in several different footwork moves throughout this video, but nothing too intense. So I kept the intensity moderate, sometimes light, and perhaps at times I may have picked up the intensity a little bit, but only very briefly, just to give us an idea of what it looks like to skip rope for 10 minutes at a moderate intensity without stopping, and to see how many calories you might burn. A lot of people are curious about this topic. Right now I'm doing a jab step, a boxer's jab step. Now I'm doing it with my right foot forward, so that's the southpaw variation, and now into the orthodox stance. So on the right hand corner of the screen, you are seeing the details coming from Crossrope's tracking app, which is connected to the handles, which I turned on at the very beginning of this video. So it keeps track of, for example, how many hops you do, the average number of jumps or hops you do per minute, as well as the calories that you burn. I have the app set to free skipping. They have different modes that you can set the app to track how many hops you do. I have it set to free skipping because I'm doing some freestyle skipping here, doing whatever move takes my fancy. I apologize that my head is not completely in the shot or in the camera view, but it's all good. You'll see it again in another video. As always, notice the footwork. I'm not jumping high off the ground when I'm doing basic skips, landing gently on the toes and balls of my feet, nice and light on my feet. My heels, for the most part, will not make contact with the ground. They may, if I'm doing a more intense move, which forces you to jump a little bit higher off the ground, but with a lot of skipping moves, our heels will not make contact with the ground. Speaking of heels, if you have heel pain or foot arch pain from jumping rope or from walking or running or simply standing for long hours every day, you may have something called plantar fasciitis. This is something I had for 8 months. I wrote a book about it, and I detail exactly how I eliminated my plantar fasciitis in only 14 days, despite suffering with it previously for 8 months. Nothing worked. I tried so many different stretches, exercises. I read so much material, books online about plantar fasciitis. I was actually beginning to think I wouldn't be able to walk again properly without pain, let alone jump rope or run. The book I wrote is from someone who actually suffered from plantar fasciitis. I read so much stuff online and tried so many different exercises that I read online, I was beginning to think that perhaps the content was produced by people who didn't actually have plantar fasciitis, or if they did, maybe just a mild case. So if you do have plantar fasciitis, I highly recommend checking out that book. You don't need to suffer with it. So 10 minutes of jumping rope. Jump rope is a very time efficient form of exercise. You can burn a lot of calories if that is one of your aims in a short period of time. And it's fun, especially as your fitness and skill level increases. As you get more fit, as your skill level improves, you can start learning so many different tricks. The number of tricks that you can learn is almost endless, depending on your level of creativity. You can come up with various different tricks. I see people on Instagram coming up with new moves all the time. I've created a few of my own moves. So it's so much fun. And it's such an easy activity to do. Easy in the sense that you don't need a gym to do it. All you need is a flat surface. You don't need a rubber mat as I have here. For many, many years, I jumped rope on basically any flat surface that was just free of debris like rough stones. So I jumped rope on concrete for many, many years, timber boards. I jumped rope on rooftops, large stones on the top of mountains. I even jumped rope on compact snow. So it's very accessible. You can do it in virtually any open space. As long as you have a little bit of a clearance over your head, flat space is all you need. A mat is helpful if you're using, say, a more expensive rope, like a cross rope, because you want to protect or preserve that rope. But for many years, I just used basic PVC ropes, and I still recommend PVC ropes. I still have a bunch of PVC ropes, especially if you're new to jumping rope and you want to try it out, see if you enjoy the activity. You don't need to spend a lot of money right away. You just get a cheap rope, jump outside, see if you like the activity. But if you start spending more on a rope, you might be more concerned about trying to prolong its shelf life. You want the rope to last for longer periods of time. And one thing I love about the cross ropes, they are a fantastic product. The handles feel good in the hands. The ropes spin nicely. They don't kink at all. The ropes don't twist or kink. Once I finish skipping rope with the cross ropes, I often roll them up, put them into a bag, but I can just take them out and begin skipping with them. They don't kink at all. And just the fact that you can easily go from one weighted rope to another. I can go from a quarter pound to a half pound to 1 pound to a 2 pound, back and forth. Just switch the different weight ropes effortlessly. So it's so easy to do. So it's a great advantage of these cross rope ropes. You can use different weighted ropes, and they're very easy to connect and disconnect. But so I highly encourage people to jump ropes. There's so many benefits with it. I've got a video on my channel called, I believe, The Benefits of Jumping Rope. So we're getting closer to the end of this video. While the jump rope footage might end, the tracking app will continue in the top right-hand corner. So I did continue jumping rope until the app stopped, but the jump rope footage actually stops before the app because there was a timer set on that camera too, and they weren't in sync. But I jumped rope for 10 minutes, and you'll see the number of calories burned at the end. So moderate intensity, just keeping the footwork relatively intermediate, nothing too intense, not moving my feet too fast, not spinning the rope too fast. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll see the details from this workout very shortly. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in a video very soon. I've got a video coming out which will address something that I kind of surprised myself with in terms of jumping rope. All right. Hope you look forward to that one. Cheers.